welcome back. Some pretty good economic news for the Trump administration today. July consumer inflation held steady. In fact, came in under estimates. You can see there 2.7% against the estimated 2.8%. Also, gas prices down from last month. Gas is down 2.2%. Groceries down 0.1%. Here's how the markets internalized all of this economic data. All three major averages up over 1% today. And the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ closing at all-time highs. But a big part of the economic conversation is around Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Here he is in June.
Or to reduce rates is to understand what will happen with really the tariff inflation. And there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Everyone that I know is forecasting a meaningful increase in inflation in coming months from tariffs.
Okay, that's in June. We're now into August. The question is obvious. When? When are we going to see all this apocalyptic inflation? And if not soon, then when will he lower rates from the Fed? Joining me now on set, former Dallas Fed advisor and QI Research founder and CEO, Danielle DiMartino Booth. Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here in person.
When will we see the inflation?
You know, I think if it's a waiting game for Chair Powell, I think he's going to be waiting for a very long time. We're just not seeing the pass through. And it was much feared. And, you know, there's a little bit of irony here because the Fed has a playbook to go by. They have the 2018, 2019 playbook. And this is trade war 1.0. We never saw the inflation pass through. In fact, inflation fell between 2018 and 2019. These are things that the Fed knows. So if he's saying that they're concerned about this tariff pass through, I don't know what he's basing it on, except for people he's talking to. Almost everyone he knows is saying inflation's going to rise. Well, clearly he doesn't know me.
He may not know you, but I will take him at his word. That
Actually, he does know my work.
Okay, he knows your work. Well, read up, Jerome, because everyone else around him seems to be telling him that, you know, economic law suggests tariffs lead to inflation. At some point, though, reality has to intrude the ideological bubble, the theoretical, the academic mind. It has to break through. And after months now of not seeing inflation, then the question of when shifts to him. When will you drop interest rates?
Well, you just mentioned that the markets were up big today, and that's because going into the CPI report this morning, there was about an 84% probability of a September rate cut. And now it's popped up to 98%. So that is a near certainty that there will be a rate cut finally this coming September, on September the 17th, my birthday.
All right. Well, I mean, it's about time. As President Trump mentions, has nicknamed him too late. Too late.
He is too late because the Fed does have a dual mandate that is congressional. They're mandated to minimize inflation, but also maximize employment. And he's been falling down on that employment mandate, and it's about time that he steps up.
Okay, and lowering interest rates theoretically, again, all this is academic, but theoretically should lead to more job creation. You were just telling me we need job creation. We need purchasing power.
We need the private sector to step up. And I think for the private sector to get there, they're going to have to know that at least the Fed is in their corner.
Right. Well, interestingly, I just want to run this by you. I do think it's connected to jobs somewhat. And these are some fascinating stats on immigration. And what we've seen is this is foreign-born population in the United States. It's down 2.2 million from January to July. So people not born in the United States living here. As recent stats show, employment has been rising for native-born workers in the United States. So foreign-born going down, native-born jobs going up.
You know, I think there's some really simple math here. But one caveat that I'll throw out is that I think there's an overestimation by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Imagine that. They get their numbers wrong about the numbers of native-born when the Census Bureau says that it's typically 100,000 a month of growth of native-born Americans, and they pull 2 million out of I don't know where. But again, I think that some of the issues at the Bureau of Labor Statistics are going to be addressed.
Okay, because you point out they don't get their numbers right.
No.
Or in the past.
No.
For a very long time.
And in fact, for all the shock and awe of the July revisions, 24 of the last 30 months, the payrolls were revised down. This is not a new phenomena, and we need change at the BLS.
We live in the age of data.
We do.
The age of AI.
This is the 21st century.
You think you could bat better than 6 out of 30
You'd
months?
hope.
All right, Danielle DiMartino Booth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.